Welcome to Milo's Minds, ladies and gentlemen. So, the modifications to my game face trion are now officially complete. This blaster turned out rather well, didn't it, ladies and gentlemen? I'm actually very happy with this one. So, I'm going to give you a list of what I did to this blaster and the parts I used. Of course, you can get parts from wherever you like, it does not matter to me. But these are the parts I used. I've also got a tip on closing the shell of this blaster that will help you out. So let's begin, shall we? First thing I did was that thumb hole stock, this one here, just really irritated the crap out of me. So I removed it. It is removable. It's just a bunch of screws and it just comes right apart. That's great. Underneath, like they said, and it is true, there is a mil-spec buffer tube there. That's awesome as well. Now, this is a stock from Blaster Wolf. Rashad has very nice design skills and very great printing. So this is one of his 3D printed stocks. I think I paid like $20 for it, maybe. I don't remember exactly. Been a long time. But in any event, I had to modify the stock a little bit to get it to go. What I did was that there's the pin right here that allows it to lock in place. Had a hard time fitting over the buffer tube past like the first inch or so. So I just took a file to it and just ground down the pin a little bit, and now it functions fine and perfectly. Like I said, the stock came from Blaster Wolf. These are all really easy, common parts that you can get almost anywhere. Almost any mil-spec buffer tube stock will work, Now, what I did down here is I changed out the grip. That is actually a grip from an AR-15 or an M4. See? Coop772 gave out this recommendation for the grip because he did something very similar to his, which is very nice. It fits really well. The grip came really quick, too. It came in about a week, which was kind of awesome. Now, if you notice right here, that's a safety delete. I install safety deletes on a lot of my blasters, unless they're blasters that do like 400 or something like that. But basically, I did this for one other reason. Some people were complaining on this blaster that after about the fourth or fifth shot under the high spring load setting, their blaster wouldn't fire. Well, I noticed that because mine started to do it too. And what it is that the safety will actually walk itself from the from the fire to safe position. So if you put in a delete, you won't have that problem anymore. Great, isn't it? I found that delete for free on some website. If you want a link to the delete, I'll pin it in comments or something if you want. There's a lot of parts here. If you want links to any of these parts, just let me know and I'll pin them in comments. But when I installed the Safe Delete, I had this thing opened up. Of course, I lubed it and stuff like that too. As you should with a nice Springer. Now, I had problems closing the shell. I was fighting with the catch. The catch just didn't want to seat right. I couldn't figure out what was going on, so I played around with it for about 10 minutes or so. And there's a trick to it. What you do is that you slide the bolt all the way back. You open the bolt all the way. And when you do that, the plunger rod is going to connect with the catch and it's going to center everything perfectly. It will actually center it and it will allow you to close the blaster a lot easier. Some people were saying parts were shooting out and everything, and I believe them, because that does happen, but it's the nature of the beast. If you slide the bolt all the way open and and there's no spring in it, the bolt's just going to catch, and there you go. And it'll center itself, and there you go. You can lock it all down into place. Now, up here, I've got a 3D printed scope from Foam Blasted of Germany. The printing was done by Joshua France in the United States. Then down here, this is just a worker vertical foregrip. I prefer vertical foregrips, but to each his own. Grips are very personal items. And of course, this is my scar right here. This was actually the stock muzzle brake from this blaster, and I ran a piece of 16 millimeter barrel. It's about a 3-inch piece. Came out of an Eon Pro, and mated it to a version 2 saber tip, and I got a little FPS boost out of it as well, so which tells me that this blaster could take a longer barrel if you so choose. But that's your choices. Now, I will say this. I also ordered the other scar from Out of Darts, this guy right here. And it's a nice scar, and it functions really well. I mean, it's a very nice scar, and it does function great. But I did note I'm not really fond of this scar. And it's not because it's a black scar, believe me. It's not the color or anything. What it is it's too short, in my opinion. And the reason being is this is a long blaster to begin with. Okay, this blaster's as long as a fully tuned Max Striker with a brass barrel in it. It is that long. And when you put a little teeny tip like that on it, it just doesn't look right. It actually, in my opinion, screws with the aesthetics of the blaster. But that's just me being picky. But like I said, it functions great. It works well as intended. It's just too short, and it messes with the aesthetic of the blaster. So I think I'll keep my own scar. But yeah, I'm actually very happy with this blaster. It truly is a nice blaster. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching the mod overview on the Game Face Trion. If you have any questions for me, or if you need links to some of these products that I used on this build, please feel free to ask in comments, and I will pin whatever appropriate link to the comment section. Thank you, and have a nice day. This is Milo's Mods signing off.